Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get hit with the truth. So today I want to discuss make the announcement that Pacquiao versus Spence is on Saturday, August 21st. I can't remember if it's Showtime. I think it's actually going to be on a Fox pay-per-view card. It's going to main event. It'll be for Spence's unified welterweight championship of the world. And I'm pretty excited to see it. A little surprised that Pacquiao, after 2 years off, wants to come back and take on Errol Spence. That's a big deal, you know. Errol Spence is right now, he's earned the top spot in the welterweight division. I think he has. I think he deserves that. And you know, he's rolling. He's had 3 big major victories in a row in terms of dominating Mikey Garcia in March of 2019, then edging out Sean Porter in a great fight to unify belts in September of 2019, and then in December of last year, 2020, dominating Danny Garcia. So this is the best run, and what's made him the top guy in the division, And Spence is ready to roll. This is a monumental fight for him. It's that signature fight. Now, even though Pacquiao is 42 years old, he's turning 43 actually in December. I wonder if everybody is just expecting Spence to win, or automatically chalking the victory up for Errol Spence. And I'm not sure if that's a mistake or not, because Errol Spence is very good. He is a very good fighter. He's in his prime right now, and he's a unified champ. But Manny Pacquiao is, I've been saying it the last couple of years, especially since he beat Keith Thurman. And I called that. I predicted him to beat Keith Thurman. But I've been saying that Manny Pacquiao's good is better than some guys' great. And right now, we're going to see if that's true on August 21st. You're going to see if Manny Pacquiao's good, even though he's faded and it's been 2 years out of the ring. Pacquiao has the confidence and belief in himself he was going to fight Terrence Crawford. The money wasn't there. They didn't, the people that said they were going to do the money decided against it. Didn't put up the money like they were supposed to. And he's willing to fight Errol Spence Jr. after 2 years off. So that shows me that Pacquiao is just supremely confident in himself and believes in himself. And he's going to go out there and leave it on the table against the number 1 guy at welterweight, which, welterweight's still pretty much the top division in boxing right now. If we go top to bottom, it runs neck and neck with heavyweight, with lightweight just behind them. But for the most part, this is the best division in boxing still. And, this fight is going to go a long way to prove the top dog. And honestly, this is for the top dog at welterweight. Pacquiao, you can argue, even though he's been inactive for close to 2 years now, you can argue after the Thurman win that he's, top 3. I had him at number 3. Before he gave up his belt. I had him at number 3. I would still consider him 3 or 4 behind Sean Porter if we are really ranking the guys. But Errol Spence is number 1, and if Pacquiao were to upset Errol Spence, he pretty much is the top dog in the yard, because he captures 2 belts, and he's the biggest name in the division anyway. So that's huge, for Manny Pacquiao right there at 42 years old, to upset and defeat the undefeated and unified champion in his prime in Errol Spence. It's a big story. But that's the thing is Pacquiao's coming in as the underdog. But I have to ask anybody, do they really think that Spence is just going to destroy Pacquiao in this fight? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll answer that question about 3 weeks out before the fight, probably in a couple months here. It's the end of May right now, so right at the end of July, I'll be doing my breakdown video of this fight, breaking it down piece by piece. And, you know, I'll give my prediction and what I think, but I do believe that this fight is going to be competitive. That's a sneak peek. I think it is going to be competitive. And, you know, we'll see who pulls it out. Errol Spence did this, like I said, this is going to be his signature victory to propel him to the pound-for-pound status that Terrence Crawford is still at, in my opinion. I still got Crawford right there as the pound-for-pound, you know, number 2 or 3 in the sport right now. But beating significant fighters and big names get you to the top spot or keep you there. And Errol Spence, I have him just in the division. Errol Spence has done more. But overall, in pound for pound, I think Crawford has done just as much, or he's accomplished just as much, and he's widely avoided. So I think that plays a big part of it. But a win here for Spence, and you know, you have to put him ahead of Crawford. And even though Pacquiao's 43, you have to put him ahead of Crawford, and you almost have to move him, you know, right up there along with Canelo. He probably moves the number 2 pound for pound, and that's huge. You know, that's big time right there. And you know, and I like, you know, I like both these fighters. You know, Manny Pacquiao has earned my respect a long time ago as a great fighter, and when he came back at 41 years old and defeated Keith One-Time Thurman, that was, you know, a huge accomplishment. And I was very, very high on him since then, and, you know, even before then in terms of his talent. But I'm actually a Pacquiao fan, and Errol Spence, definitely a fan of his. You know, the way he came back from that car accident, that very bad car accident, and also 15 months out of the ring, 15 months out, and just dominated Danny Garcia. You know, I mean, like I said, I've seen Garcia lose. I thought the fight with Porter, he lost, but it was very close, and it was a good fight. I thought the fight with Thurman, that it wasn't as close. I thought Thurman outboxed Danny, but I don't think Thurman dominated Danny. Errol Spence just went out there and dominated Danny Garcia, you know, over 12 rounds, and it was just damn near impressive. And the way he shut out Mikey Garcia, you know, and you know, he had trouble with Sean Porter, but everybody does. So I was like, you know, Errol Spence, I'm big on him. I think he's a great fighter, and I really cannot wait to see this unified title fight right here. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be very good, and we're going to see who the better man is, you know, on August 21st. We're going to see if it's truly Errol Spence's time, or if Manny Pacquiao still has some life left in him, you know, to be at the top of the division. You know, Pacquiao, like I said, his good is going to beat most guys' greats. And I think Pacquiao, even right now at almost 43 years old and 2 years out of the ring, I think he beats most of the guys at welterweight. I still believe that. You know, but is he good enough to knock off one of the top 2 guys between Spence and Crawford? That's the big question that needs to be answered. Is he good? Is he still on that level? Because Spence and Crawford are easily considered. That's why the division's considered to be the best. That is quietly under the radar the biggest fight, in my opinion, in terms of talent that people want to see in boxing, is Spence versus Crawford. And that's because they're pound for pound, and it's also a talent-rich division. So people want to see who the best is between those guys. When you got a guy like with the name of Manny Pacquiao, though, and there's only one other guy in the sport right now that has a similar name, and that's Canelo. But when you have a Hall of Famer like Pacquiao, who, like I said, is his good is better than a lot of guys' greats. You know, Pacquiao wants to see at 42, 43 if he still got what it takes to compete with these young guys in their prime and beat them. And he believes in himself. And, you know, Errol Spence is supremely confident coming off that win over Danny. So you got 2 guys that are really confident in their abilities and really ready and hungry. That's the thing, is Pacquiao's still hungry, in my opinion. Why else would you come back after 2 years and go after the top dog if you're not hungry? And Errol Spence is very hungry because I think he takes it personal that people say Crawford's better than him. Some people say that. I believe Crawford's better than him, but I think he takes it personal, and he wants to take any fight possible outside of the fight with Crawford, which we all know the reasons why that fight doesn't get made. You know, it's the promotions why that fight doesn't get made. But I think he wants to do anything within his power and beat whoever he can to legitimize himself as the top guy at the division, and he's been doing that. The win over Danny Garcia, the way he dominated him, and the couple wins prior to that over Porter and Mikey Garcia, and then the win, if he could beat Manny Pacquiao, I mean, that would just go a hell of a long way to prove his point as a top dog in the yard. So we're going to see. Saturday, August 21st, I believe it's Fox pay-per-view. If not, Showtime pay-per-view, but I'm pretty sure it's Fox. Manny Pacquiao, the Pac-Man, the Hall of Famer, the former 8-division world champion, takes on the undefeated and unified welterweight champion of the world right now, Errol Spence Jr. So make sure you're checking it out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.